welcome to the All About You show with OMG and Friends, where we talk about the things that you think about and some things you don't. I am your host, OMG, along with my co-host,
Silky Smooth, Daydream,
and Dwight Brandon.
Now we do have two guests here, but we'll introduce you to them a little bit later. Now, family, as always, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we ask that you please join in on the conversation, where your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions help drive the conversation. But just before we interview these two gentlemen that we have here, I want to just kind of bring up politically, what is going on that you heard today with the Republican Party actually sitting in on the committee meetings and just, I guess, doing a powwow some kind of way?
Well, I don't know if it would be called a powwow, but they have developed a strategic alliance that resulted in them storming the hearings for the impeachment inquiry. And so by them storming those hearings, they're basically holding them hostage.
Right.
So that's what the current
Can they
update
do that?
is.
I mean,
Well, you know, a lot of what is going on is, as we discussed before, is etiquette. The etiquette is no longer being followed based upon the protocols of political parties. So what they decided to do strategically with President Trump's knowledge is to infiltrate the hearings to find out exactly what's going on behind closed doors. So,
which defeats the entire purpose.
Absolutely.
Yes. An inquiry is one thing, but once the impeachment process starts, then it becomes a legal evidentiary process. But at this point, it's an inquiry, and that is behind closed doors, where what happens in any judicial process, you must collect evidence before you present evidence. So they're in the grand jury selection of evidence process, but they decided to infiltrate that as a Republican Party.
Wow, they're really full of themselves, but he got that honestly.
Yes.
And there's also, there really is no taking the high road.
No.
You would think someone in that type of power would say, hey, we need to behave better than that. And instead he's instigating it. He just continues stirring that pot, just turning up that fire.
They're setting a precedent. That's what they want to do. Because has anything like this ever happened in history?
No, it hasn't.
Well, whatever he does,
so they're
for
setting
him to go down in history as having done something.
Oh yes, yes.
No matter how negative,
no matter how negative, no matter how vile,
exactly,
no matter how destructive to our people.
Exactly. Yes.
But guys, pay attention to that, because again, I think he needs to be impeached. But in the meantime, we're going to go straight to having our studio guest, and Silky Smooth is going to host today's show.
Absolutely. Allow me, if you will, to read this introduction of these two gentlemen. JDR MOB is a rap group duo based in Houston, Texas, working extremely hard to share their gift of music with the Bayou City and beyond. The two brothers, Poppy Boy and Ish, started recording their music during their sophomore year in high school and never stopped since. Their nicknames, Poppy and Ish, were given during their childhood and now have become a part of their JDR MOB brand. The duo says recording songs was something fun to do, a hobby, as well as recording music turned into something they dedicated their lives to creating. It became their meditation and peace. Whenever recorded, their peers enjoyed their music. With that, their bond and love for music, the two dedicated their lives to collaborating to become a collective rap group. So the All About You show presents to some and introduces to others JDR MOB, Poppy Boy, and Ish. Welcome back.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so since you're getting ready, I have a question.
Oh, good.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? How long you've been doing this, and what was the impetus behind making the journey towards music as opposed to some other profession?
Right, okay. Me and my brother, we've been making music, writing music pretty much our whole lives.
Okay.
As far as recording in studios, probably 6 years ago.
Okay.
We wanted to get serious. We were actually basketball players first.
That was my question. And where did you go from this to that? But okay.
Yeah, so, as the introduction said, we started as a hobby, and then it just became something that we did with a group of our friends. And then eventually we had enough songs to put out a project,
Okay.
which
Awesome.
led one thing to another to performing projects and performing music, and then going back to the studio and repeating the process over
Okay.
again.
That's exciting. Gentlemen, you talked a little bit about your background, but what influences actually got you involved in the creative process? Because many of us love music. I don't know anybody that says they don't love music, but I love it. But I can't imagine creating it. I don't hear music. I don't hear music in my head. I don't read it or anything like that. Where did that come into play? The creative process. How did that come about?
So for myself, like my brother said, we started writing at a young age. So when I started off, it was just poems to me. Like I just enjoyed writing, so I just enjoyed writing poems. And so I just put that to a melody. And then when we moved from like Katy to my mom's house, when we stayed on Wheeler and Ennis in 3rd Ward,
Oh yeah.
I used to see
Yeah.
I used to see a guy named Lil J Xavier. So I would like see how he get all this reaction from like fans and stuff, and attention and stuff from the music. And I was just like, and he just so young, so I'm like, man, like I can do this. Like that's what I want to do. And so from there, I was like, I'm gonna make an album. I'm gonna put my mom on the track.
Oh, okay.
And like,
Starts there.
I just had that dream.
First.
Yeah, I
Right,
just had that
right,
dream.
right.
So that's when I just like took it seriously. And then someone did discourage me. Like when I would tell people I wanted to be a rapper
You can't tell them.
or
so.
artist,
You can't tell people.
man,
They will steal
I
your
messed up.
dreams.
I messed up,
But you
man.
didn't know you were sharing.
Yeah, I was young, and they told me to be something else, like a lawyer, doctor, or something like that. And so I just kind of put it to the side. But I continued to write though.
That's good.
And so as I got older, I just had so much stuff. And after leaving school, it was like, well, actually at school I was recording as well. So once I left school, it was like I knew I could do the music because I had already opened up for like, Wes Walker, Sauce Walker. So it was like I saw that it was movement there. So me and my brother just did it and just.
And not to mention too, our family is music.
Yeah.
Oriented.
Yeah,
That has a
pretty
lot to
much.
do with it.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do
We
with
pretty much grew up around music.
Yeah.
My uncle, my mom's brother, is a music producer, and he has a studio at his house.
Okay.
So when we go to his house,
So you had an avenue.
we were in the
Yeah.
studio at
Yeah.
like 8, 9 years old.
Right.
So that kind of exposed us to music first, early, and allowed us to express our creativity through that.
Now,
That sounds like you're predestined.
I have
Yeah.
a question. Now, your passion was identified.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if you had the ability to really pursue it? Your school day was around, you just writing your lyrics.
Right.
You busting out beats and the mathematical equations that are involved in that syncopation. What if that was your day?
Mhm.
Describe that for me. If we could transform school and education to where you truly chase your passion,
Right.
what would that look like if you had that
This
chance?
day consisting of just music.
Just like music arts.
It's funny.
That's your passion.
It's funny because I think about that all the time.
Wow.
I was the kid in class that was taking 2 pens and beating on the
Yeah.
desk and
Yeah.
making beats and rapping and stuff like
Right.
that. So I think the time, for me personally, I think about the time and the effort and energy I put towards school and thinking if I would have put that towards, music, how far along would I be?
Yes, sir.
How far ahead would I be?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One, with you doing that in class,
Right.
how did the teachers react to that? Because my immediate thought is he's being disruptive in my class.
Right.
I have to assume you received a lot of that and experienced a lot of that. Right. And I'm sure, mom got those calls. Hey, he's doing this, he's not listening, he's not paying attention, he's causing
Hey,
disruption.
little drummer boy is at it
Right.
again,
See, I loved school because when I was in kindergarten, I had a great teacher. And so that set the tone for me for school. Did you have that person? Did you have anybody there who said, wait a minute, there's something else going on. It's not disruption. There's something else that needs to be fed.
Actually,
There's a talent that needed to be cultivated.
there was,
And
but at
that's
the
what-
time as a kid,
You don't
I
think
couldn't
about
see
that
it.
yet.
I just thought it was
That's
just
for your
something I was
parents
doing.
to
And I heard you say you were in Katy.
Oh yeah.
So the demographics of Katy were not
Right.
It's not
Exactly.
third ward, right?
At
That's
all.
not-
It's
Not
not
as
at
friendly.
all. We moved
I'm
to
sure
3rd
that had to
Ward,
be
like
a
surprise,
huge
like
change for you
whoa.
guys. Yeah.
Lord,
Whoa.
But yeah, we did stay out in Katy one year,
Right.
and It wasn't two. Yeah, it's very different. We were like two of like. It was probably only 4 black people.
It was probably 8. It was eight.
Okay, yeah.
But then when we went to Third Ward, we moved to Third Ward a year later. It was all
us.
Yeah. So
Right.
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
and even then, my behavior in school, I wasn't the best child. I didn't get the good grades.
Hold that thought, because we've got to go for a break.
Okay, cool.
We'll be right back after this.
Right back.
He's like, the lights on. It's time for confession.
I sang a song too in the first verse. I talked about
Yeah, because see, that's what I have a program basically. I want every adult, student, whoever, to pursue their passion. Whatever your passion is, develop. It's going to be popular.
Have music on Facebook.
So if I give you the knowledge of
Not
your passion,
other people's music.
give you your
Not
academics,
on
because you can't be a lyricist if you don't know how to
You don't know
structure,
Right, but
construct,
Facebook doesn't know who owns it.
imagery.
So whoever
Right.
owns it's gonna
And then you
gain
take that
and they're gonna
knowledge,
pull
then you
it.
put it with financial literacy, business development. Because that's why I mentioned it to you. I see where you're going. And so, I feel you.
I mean, that's all of it. And, you know, I have very strong views about the system of education.
Yeah.
You're gonna speak on that.
It's strategically structured for containment.
Right.
But what we need to do is flip it to where we empower ourselves outside of that structure.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Feel me?
This question.
Education is structured to contain control, not for you to flourish and develop your power. Unless you
3,
fall in this-
2,
unless you fall in, right?
and 1.
We're back. You're listening to the All About You show with OMG and Friends, where we talk about the things that you think about. I am your host, OMG, along with my co-host and studio guest,
Silky Smooth.
Daydream.
White Brandon.
And JDR MOB. Let's go. Let's
Could
get
you tell me what JDR MOB?
How did you get that?
Yeah, what do the acronyms mean? And I knew you did something.
My brother did the grit on her teeth, like, oh my gosh.
She didn't ask that question, did she?
Okay.
We're gonna get a lot of people excited on this one.
Okay.
Okay. Like excitement.
But yeah, it started at a lunch table my freshman year of high school. It was me and 2 other guys named Daniel and Ronnie, and so we just kind of had this clique, and then it just went bigger from that. So we just put all 3 of our names together, and so it was JDR, and then we just kind of expanded. Rufus was like part of the clique, and Richard and Edward, and it was like just a clique, and we just formed a brotherhood.
Okay.
And we did like everything together, catching buses and like everything together. so that's how we got JDR. And then once we grew, it was a mob.
Mob, I get it.
Yeah. So, and as far as with the music goes, we wanted to kind of keep the brand, and so we had created the label JDR, with Just Dope Records. So it was like Just Dope Records.
Yeah, because they're the acronyms are. Because I was trying to figure out what the heck is David and Raj. So that explains it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So it has meaning for you.
Yeah, it does have meaning.
We got a couple folks checking in. Renee's checking in. Thank you. Cookie Wali is checking in. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for following along on our Facebook feed. Give us a call here at the studio, 713-789-0096. If y'all have any questions for these young men, or if you just want to give them a shout out, those of your friends who are listening, you're welcome to call in, and of course your comments are always welcome on the live feed.
Gentlemen, explain your struggles that you face as hip hop artists in Houston. I mean, how do you overcome these struggles? I mean, what do you do? Because people still judge you. What makes you continue to strive?
Okay, what are you gonna say?
Both of you can.
I was just gonna say, like, one struggle is that I just feel is like everybody has a certain connotation with like a rapper or like artist. It's hard to tell people like, when you're black, like I do music, cause it's kind of like, oh, you're a rapper. I could have been doing some other type of music, you know what I'm saying? But like they just have this certain connotation, like this view toward it. So I feel like that's like a challenge, and you know, a lot of people know like Houston's market is a lot tougher than any other market
Yes.
when you're doing
I was
hip
gonna
hop
ask
music.
you that. How was
Right.
the
Yeah,
market
how
in
was
Houston?
it?
Well, why? Why is it so much?
You might be able to elaborate
Just
on
like-
that.
Mentality, I guess. It's a lot of the mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
I
it's
get it.
competition.
There's a lot of music comes out of
I
here.
feel like, because I'm H-Town born and raised,
Okay.
so I feel like we just have a very tight community.
Yeah.
We're very protective.
Yeah.
We're from the South. We're the dirty South. What's Texas? You know, what's the third coast? Oh, that's nothing. Y'all aren't real musicians. You're not real this. You're not real that. So I just feel like those who have been able to make that name were very protective of that.
Yeah.
You know, because we were able to get and be recognized, you know, outside of the state as having our style and our music. So I think that's where a lot of it has to do with it, because you have, you know, with Houston, those old heads aren't really all that old,
Yeah.
you know, because we grew up listening to it. You know, Jill, your daughter, we grew up listening to that.
Yes.
So, you know, we were, you know, when it was okay, little Kiki and all them are in high school and everything. Okay, well, so were we, you know, so we all grew up with
Yeah,
them.
that's true. But like you said, yeah, it really is tight. Like if you're not part of this hood where you got the whole hood behind you, it's like it's kind of hard to maneuver through the city. A lot of people not gonna mess with you, even if you have amazing talent.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Yes.
It's
Like,
disappointing
yes.
to hear
That's
that.
Yeah.
really
It is.
Well,
disappointing.
Houston is different. You know, I'm from
It
the
is
East Coast. This
different.
is totally different.
Yeah. So now, but you raised something that, I noticed your videos and how you
Yeah.
present it. You're thinking bigger than just presenting music.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about exactly what your vision of greatness is.
Okay. For me, I think greatness is more about, you know, fulfilling a purpose. I feel like everybody has a reason
Yes, sir.
why we're here. I think everything around us has a reason why we're here. And I feel like it's your job in life to complete that. You know, obviously, I feel like for me and my brother, we want generational wealth. We want our kids,
Yes, sir.
kids
Yes, sir.
to, you
And the
know,
other kids.
Yeah. Always after that.
You know, we want wealth to be there. So, you know, that's the ultimate vision, ultimate goal, you know, and spreading good, positive messages to other people out there to show them that they can live out their dream, that they don't have to go to a 9 to 5. You know, you can, go after your passion and live off that.
Yes, sir.
And definitely for myself, I want to be influential. You know, I want to be able to influence like as many people as possible. So music definitely gives you that platform.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And I noticed that your presence on the video is very strategic. Is that you present yourself as if you want to be more than just in front of the camera on a video.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
I think you're right. Yeah.
So how are you preparing yourself for acting, that next platform of presenting yourself as a powerful black man?
Just really by trying to gain as much knowledge as I can, because like I said, I want to be influential. I want to be able to pass down, knowledge and wealth as well. But just working on myself, being the best that I can be, so that way I can pass that down.
Right.
So,
Because I don't think people really understand. You use the ball,
yeah.
so you have to put up shots to make
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
So you have to put up some
You
lyrics.
have to set
Yeah.
up. You gotta set
Right.
it
So
up.
describe exactly what your workout is like to really execute what you do.
Okay, so pretty much we have a studio at our house, and we record every day.
Wow.
Last October, that's all we did. That's when we recorded the album that month.
Like
That
that.
whole lockdown. I'm talking a whole month. The world has not seen us.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to go in lockdown. Every
Lockdown.
Every now and then.
We can all use that.
Yeah.
We were making a song a day. Like we made probably
Wow.
almost 30 songs that month.
Yeah.
We
We did.
just put our head in,
Now
and-
your content,
Mhm.
those 30 days, how are you deriving at your lyrics? Is it through experience, or is it talking about wealth and money and women and Is it more proactive, progressive? What? Because I like the song
Well,
"Best in the World."
Yeah.
Anything that's uplifting, positive,
Yeah.
encouraging, and edifying, I'm with that.
Definitely. That's my mom's favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She don't know it.
Okay,
But like when we were in that process of just recording every day, we went through a time of where we kind of stopped writing, where everything was just, like off the top, how they say. So where you kind of record something, you punch in. So mostly it's just feelings. So most times it's like we turn on the beat, and I just see how it
Kinda
makes
go
me
from
feel.
there,
I get to harmonizing and stuff, and then I just go. So it's really just off of feelings and stuff.
Which brother is the oldest?
I do.
yeah.
13 months apart.
You're almost Irish twins.
Right.
You're almost
Absolutely.
Irish
Almost,
twins.
yeah.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
just barely.
We grew up like twins, and we kind of live like we twins. We like everything is halfway.
This one over here, he's like, well, something.
We disagree on a lot of things.
That's
We probably
good.
argue
That's a
every
good
day.
Yeah.
But the arguments are to push and challenge each
Exactly.
other. So
Exactly.
you're in his
Exactly.
space, like
Yeah.
step up, and
Yeah.
like say, you step up, right?
No, you step
That's
up.
exactly how it is.
That's how it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, test
Constructive
around
arguments.
authority.
It's all
nice.
the music. It's
Yeah,
all
those-
the music.
Yeah, those like meaningful,
Yeah.
arguments
Mhm.
with an agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you say it like that?
It's exactly.
But let's
Right.
let's do an agenda question real quick. Jay-Z
Mhm.
partnering with the NFL.
Mhm.
What do you think about that business relationship?
He getting the bag. Smart move.
Smart move.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move.
Branded up.
Mhm.
It influence.
Right.
Yes. So, but a lot of people in the black community, brown community, are saying that he sold out.
Oh, because he's saying the NFL doesn't.
NFL doesn't support
Yeah,
the black
yeah.
community, the kneeling,
Okay.
the owners, everything. He was part of the mediation and not necessarily solution.
Okay. I mean, I feel like him partnering with the NFL, I don't feel like it would hurt us. I don't necessarily feel like that it was just.
So you don't feel like you don't
bad
agree
thing.
that he's sold out?
I wouldn't say
think
so because I remember Travis Scott was getting backlash for performing. So, and I remember Akon was saying, like, as a black community, it doesn't really help us if he doesn't perform. Like, you're putting a black man on the biggest stage of them all, like, that will bring awareness to,
Right.
you can eventually set yourself on a platform to bring awareness to this. So I feel like in Jay-Z's place where he is at that high level, he can bring awareness to what's going on.
If anything, we should be proud of him.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But did
Yes,
he
sir.
did he not talk someone else out of that exact same proposition?
Well, but see that exact.
I'm just no. I'm
Yes,
not,
it is
I don't want to
true.
engage.
Yes.
But
It
did
is-
he
it is
not
true. It is
talk
true.
another brother out of making that same investment?
But
So that, in my mind,
but
that's
but was
duplicitous.
he?
Yeah.
But was that other brother really prepared for the mantle
That
that he
doesn't matter.
needed to
He
carry?
talked him out of it. We are to
Yeah.
encourage, edify,
Edify.
build up, like we're all
Yeah, he
doing
shouldn't have
here
talked
with
him
each
out of
other.
it.
Well,
He should have said, you know what, let's figure out how we
Let's
can
figure out how we
collaborate
can-
on
that's
this.
it.
Look,
That's
Jay-Z
how-
is a businessman, so he gonna make the best move for him.
Yeah, but then don't-
for
but
him
then-
and his family.
Yeah, but-
Okay.
He might do some
But see,
janky
we
stuff.
don't. We're not an
but
island. It can't
it's
just be
like
us.
business is business.
Business. He took the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
Right, but
Okay.
we
I
have
think
we
that's-
have enough non-minority businesses treating us business as business without
we
us
should cut it.
cutting into each other that
Right.
way.
Mhm.
So it's fine. You know what? It was a great thought. You know what? I don't want this person to hit this lick because I want it,
Right.
and I'm Jay-Z.
That's what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
So, but
See,
instead
I have
of
a different
okay, you know what?
perspective.
Don't go
I
do
have
that.
a
No, that's a bad
different-
move. You don't want the community not to
Right,
like you.
right.
You're gonna
So he-
hate that.
so he
And
broke-
then what? Less than a year later, oh, by the way, I signed on this
signed.
line.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
no,
know, like
no.
that's-
Now let me
no.
let
Don't
me
forget
put
where y'all come
this
from when y'all
perspective.
get there, okay? And don't
Let-
forget the All About You show.
Yeah.
For sure.
Your mom
Let me-
and grandma.
Since we have basketball players in here.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm running, filling the lane, and I point, then you're expecting me to go do what?
Jump.
And get it, right? But now, if I'm 5'5" and I point, you gonna throw it?
Well, that's a playmaker.
Yes or no?
That's a playmaker, God.
Okay,
You know,
but
when
what
you
I'm
set it up,
what I'm
you gotta
saying
have-
is that if the other guy can't receive that alley-oop, why am I gonna throw it to him?
Well, you can't. Alley was again a setup, and you
No.
need the help to It's
I
two,
need,
it's two guys.
but see, there's some people who need to be on the sideline being a video coordinator.
True. Not
So
everybody-
Jay-Z said, I can throw the alley.
Mhm.
You can't.
Okay, but he
Right.
did it at the cost of someone else. He could have collaborated, brought this brother in. But see, again,
Maybe the other guy's ego was too big to say, yo, Jay, I ain't letting you take this.
Jay-Z's, really?
But Jay has an ego to carry this mantle, maybe. You know me, I just like bringing up stuff, dude.
That's why he another entertainer.
That's why.
I'm on the other side today.
I know, right? But you know, these young brothers here, I think what they're doing is phenomenal. I think they need and warrant support.
Yes.
I don't
Sure.
think that, you know, when something comes at you, don't forget you guys are tight. Because see, the world can come in between
Right. Oh, they will.
even the two of you.
Because you raise it that even in Houston, the community is
It's
very
Tight.
Tight.
And for you to crack in there, you have to do some stuff that you don't need to do. Yes or no?
That's true, yeah.
So you're holding your own.
Exactly.
Right. But again, if you can't catch alley-oop, I'm sorry. You
Under the basket for that.
couldn't catch it.
You gotta have a tall brother.
Jay-Z said I can catch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you see how we don't agree on things.
Not always.
That's good though.
Now, do y'all too young to remember when the conversation, when rap, y'all know what rap is? Because years ago it was, you know, when a man talked to a woman, remember he used to rap to her?
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. Do y'all still rap to women? And when y'all sing, I mean, are you into it from that perspective or more?
Yeah.
I'm here with someone answering.
Man, this new generation is.
It's
In
different,
fact,
right?
you're a lyricist, so now talk to us. You use words, right?
Yeah, I think I know for myself, like I've done it before. Yeah, like I've written songs for females or a poem or
Right,
something like
right.
that. I think the last time was like maybe junior year of high school, so that wasn't like too long ago, maybe like 4 years or something.
So it doesn't take all that now?
To get a woman,
I'm just asking. So
You know.
do the words and the presentation of words, is it the same or is it different?
I feel like if it will forever be the same. I feel like it'll forever be the same. Like I feel like a woman would like that. Like you know, because like you took the time out to say something nice and you put it in
Right.
a nice way.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Maybe not all women now, like all.
This is a different breed of
I see.
They
His face over there. See, my thing is to define what you mean by women like that, because I'm not gonna like for a song that was made for me, dedicated to me, this poem, and it's talking about my booty looking delicious.
no,
and,
not
you know
like
the
that,
things
nah.
I want to do to you. To me, that has no finesse. That's not a
Yeah.
rap to me. That's no swag.
Yeah.
So that. Define that, because that's something different. Now, if you're a junior in high school, yeah, what I liked as a junior in high school is not what's gonna work now. But
I'm saying like sweet things, like it's certain ways you can do it. I don't know. You can create a song and then maybe take a ride and play
But
it
what-
for
what-
her, something like that.
what's your way?
Don't tell all
My
your
way?
game.
Yeah,
It's time for a break. It's time for a break.
Not quite. And you guys may want to
Use the
serenade us
transition.
here at the studio. Let us know how you do it.
No, see,
Yeah,
I
that's
told you.
been
we need
minutes.
to transition.
I don't have them feelings like that.
But just off
I
the top
gotta
of your
go
head,
with
though,
this,
can you just rap
Just
impromptu?
Freestyle.
Okay.
Freestyle.
Yeah.
Freestyle. Deep
Let me see
man.
what I got.
Deep man.
Hold on.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
here.
You want to go?
Hey,
We
go
got
ahead.
You
Go ahead.
drop the beat, whatever, how you do
We don't
what
have
you
Yeah,
do.
however.
Do we have beats?
I
We
mean,
don't have beats to it.
We may have some. We never know what our
Yeah.
engineer may conjure up for us.
She pulling it up.
So guys, how old are you guys?
I'm
20,
20.
21.
21.
Okay. Oh,
This is a good time in your life, right here.
perfect.
Great.
Good time.
You're like prime.
I was in education for 30 years.
Mm.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
Okay then. All right then.
All righty.
You got beat,
I
you
might
ready?
have some. Oh.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say I can go without the beat.
Yeah, we can go without the
Okay,
beat.
well,
Like,
slow.
Yeah, they got it.
Put the effort in. Okay, let me knock that out.
Oh, what is that?
No, not that one.
That's on the
That's not your mom.
I'm saying, keep it on the low though, act like I don't know though. But every time I hit, I get the spending going loco. I've been out here grinding every day without no promo. So when it come my time, I'm shine, that's for show. Better ride the wave because we poppin'. Taking pictures with the whip, but you ain't copy. I can't sign no deal without me weighing options. I need a profit, what's the count on wins and losses? We making dollars, need to talk to our accountant, gotta count it. Got the money piling, looking like a mountain, no allowance. And it's hard to see success when poverty is all around you. But it's a mind state, so I try not to think about it. Shout out to Atlanta for believing in my talent. And shout out to LA, we did some things I wouldn't imagine.
I gotta top that now.
That's my first time rapping on radio, so I'm
But that's
really
positive. That's sweet.
But-
It gives you
Okay.
motivation. That's excellent.
Okay.
All right.
Off the top,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it's JDR Live, young-ish. I'm about to take off. Every day I'm grinding, waiting for my day to pay off. Hold on.
that sounds just like hold on.
That's starting it up.
Okay, remember. It's JDR Live, young-ish. I'm about to take off. Every day I'm grinding, waiting for the day it pays off. Treat it like a job, so I can never take a day off. Only difference is I'm a boss, I can't get laid off. Bossed up for myself and made myself the CEO.
Yeah.
Bossed up for myself, I made myself the CEO, cutting everybody off. If you're not on the things I'm on, you ain't down to ride along. I guess I gotta ride along. But if I come up, you get stuck. It ain't my fault, bro. It's your own. I was trying to make room for you to come up with me. I was going through my struggles. Nobody was there to listen. When I was starving, no one thought to break me off no chicken. When I make it, I'll remember. Don't forget the ones that's near me.
Wow.
Off the dome, this ain't written. Gotta get what I deserve. This is earned, nothing's given. All I spit is facts. I ain't talking about no printers. When I say that, that's no cap. I ain't talking about a fee.
All right. See, all of that is I got kind of it's very motivating. It's
You gotta
you
be
talk about going for
stirred
your
up.
money, you're going for your lick, that makes sense. That's good.
But then part of the business requires another image to be presented.
Right.
Yes. And so within that, the balance between the image that is requested for acceptance and the image that you want to create for solidifying your legacy.
Right.
How do you handle those two balances?
I think for me, I feel like being yourself is really just like the best route to go because nobody can be you better than you.
Yeah.
So as long as you're original, I feel like that's what leaves legacies. If you're following waves and following the trends, that's the quickest way to tarnish your career.
Right.
Because that wave, that trend is gonna be over.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about, in music, just construct and structure from James Brown, Parliament, Funkadelic, what are some of the influences of your construct, of your music theory that you use?
For myself, y'all might judge me for this, but Lil Wayne has always been like my inspiration when it comes to hip hop. I feel like just being able to do what he does, the way he does, how he does, it's just like it's amazing. If you listen to his music, you will see that he is the GOAT. He is probably the best person to ever do this.
Okay.
Are you talking about current Lil Wayne or like old school original
the
Lil Wayne?
whole career.
The whole
this
book
man
is
has
important.
been relevant for so long. And a lot of people like to bring up Eminem. Like, I get it, he's got a flow, but Lil Wayne does it without writing. If you actually know how hard that is,
Yes, sir.
then you'll have that respect for him. And it's crazy.
But I don't know much about Lil Wayne, and I'm just bringing up an opinion, and that is everything that I've seen like goat. I mean not goat, but devil horns and
They
all
try to
of
say
that.
he
See,
Illuminati and stuff.
I don't know. That kind of sticks out in my head when I think of Lil Wayne.
Definitely. I just feel like he's just very influential. Without Wayne, I don't feel like the hip hop the way it is today would be how it is. If Wayne never existed, we would not have what's going on in hip hop today. Like, he changed everything from the tattoos to just being yourself, not having this attitude of you don't care, color hair. He put on Drake, Nicki Minaj, he kind of brought those people up, brought them to the light. You know, like without Wayne, like none of this would be here.
Right.
Syrup sipping, none of that.
None of that.
He
None of
brought-
that.
That's a Houston thing.
Yeah, not that
I
he
mean,
created it.
granted, I get what it
Not
is,
that he
but
created
let's
it.
give credit where credit's due.
Definitely Houston, but like I said, there's a lot of people in Houston that don't get brought to the light. He brought that to the light.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody in Houston really just brought that to them. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's
a
a
stage
couple
that
people, but
Wayne
I'm just
did.
saying, like, we already not on the map as it is like that right now. So it's
Yeah,
like,
lights off.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like, just, maybe I'm a little biased, but I feel like he brought that, like, to the forefront, he made it mainstream.
And
Basically,
see,
what
that's
I'm saying, he made it mainstream.
And that's where
He made it mainstream.
you're bringing forward the point of him
Yeah.
as a lyricist, and so I think it's time to go to break. So.
Lyrics is an idol.
Hold that thought. We've got to go to break. We'll be back in a moment.
Not that he started, but
I mean, I like
he
Wayne.
made it like
He's like no prolific.
made it
I've
the whole
been listening
world
to him
see.
since,
See, that's kind
you know
of
what I'm saying, Hot
Yeah.
Boys,
See
but you
what
know
I
what I'm
mean?
saying, like,
Yeah,
my
Hot
actually was
Boys.
in middle school when he was dropping stuff like that,
Wayne
but,
was
but he's still not Bun B
Supreme.
or UGK.
You know.
I'm not even talking about, I mean, he's not built Bun B and UGK.
And then music making.
Wayne,
Pimp C, are you serious? Bun B was UGK was one of the first collaborators to get out of the South. Out of the South. Yeah, are you serious? Right now, Bun B teaches their rights. You talking about transitions?
Bun B's teaching your rights.
UGK?
where they at though? Where they at?
UGK?
I ain't gonna lie, they did like kind of, paved the way for Wayne. They paved for Wayne, and
Right,
Wayne looked up to them. Wayne did look up to them, so Wayne took that to like heights that
Oh no,
they
yeah, we love Wayne went mainstream because of Baby. So when you talk about Wayne, you can't separate him from Baby because he's natural. Because then he started putting on your money.
Yeah, because a lot of these rappers wasn't really known outside the states. He sounds like a million now. Small. That's probably it.
Well, you know why that is though. What I was gonna say, don't forget though. You're talking about people like labels. The Texas rappers. The reason a lot of people don't know them outside of Texas is because they made millions inside of Texas, which makes them heavy. Because the people who had who were on labels outside of the state had to go through labels to make millions, and some of them never made that. But the Texas rappers sold off their
Keep their
trunk
money.
That's true.
and made millions
Yeah, that's true.
in one state, and then they spread. Now they getting featured on Sway in the Morning and like we have some of these rappers, but we talking
That's what
about
I'm
like.
saying, like, we don't get, I feel
I'm
like
not
Houston just
gonna-
don't get that attention they need, like that, man.
I'm just not
We don't
gonna
get
let
that
it go.
attention no
Because
more.
we know better than
They used to
to
at one point.
get into that.
And we're just talking about the mainstream
We
ones.
won't
We're
do
not
it.
even talking about.
Yeah, it's we gotta think differently. We gotta build a legacy. Like if you're trying to build a legacy, you're gonna have to do some stuff that you might
Outside of that box.
Yeah,
Outside of that
Yeah.
space.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to partner with other people and stuff.
10 seconds.
We
Right,
got
which
a
is
city full of
understandable, but
talent.
that's the reason why each town is hustle town for a reason.
Yeah, it's
Because
hustle.
they're gonna keep on their grind, and I'm not gonna give you my cut.
Yeah.
I work for this. I
I'm
earn
working
this.
like
I'm
millions
gonna find a
selling
way.
CDs out of Trump right now. They have never been. Jay Prince,
And a lot of it
one of the
does
biggest
that
Wasn't he
moments.
rap a lot?
because of the other good
Here.
stuff.
Yeah, I know him.
Don't allow you to really expand beyond what you take care of.
He look.
Feel me? You know, you got a lot of people.
You guys ready?
So,
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
And we are back. This is the All About You show with OMG and Friends with our illustrious hosts.
OMG.
I am Silky Smooth,
Daydream.
and Dwight Brand.
and we've got these fine gentlemen who make up JDR MOB,
It's your poppy boy.
Ish and Poppy Boy, our guests, our fine guests for this, and they're telling us a little bit about rap and why they do what they do. Gentlemen, you guys won the Axe competition, did you not?
Yes, man, we did.
Brag on yourself.
Yeah, so brag on yourself. Look, this is the time to
This is when you
shine.
sell
This is
you.
the time you sell you now. How did your peers react back at home, and how did that make you feel? And what?
Yeah,
what
let's
do
talk
you say
about
this?
what that is. And
Talk about what that is.
Okay, so basically, the Axe the Label was a campaign that was ran by Axe and they're the marketing company that they are partnered with, and they teamed up with Lil Yachty and Zaytoven. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but it was basically they wanted to reach a certain demographic. The Body Spray Acts wanted to reach a certain demographic, and they used hip hop music or hip hop influencers to do that. And they sent out a competition, and basically whoever had the best songs was chosen, and we got chosen out of 40,000.
Wow.
Submissions.
So we got real celebrities here now.
Yeah, it crashed. They say one of the guys said the entry, so many entries, it crashed SoundCloud twice.
Wow.
So that's how many
Well, that's a
people.
hell of an accomplishment for you guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah. I guess it's probably still having this hit, but
Yeah.
it's a great accomplishment to just be recognized and to know
Yeah.
that Zaytoven like heard it and chose it.
And so single-handedly chosen.
Yes, right. So that's similar to the song, the show now, Songwriters, where you have the artist going through. We were discussing off air that music process of how you use theory in developing your songs. Will you share that with us?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Pretty much what I like to do when I'm recording music, I use my feelings as navigation. That's my words and things, but I do like a lot of harmony and melodies behind in the background, and I usually like to do them octave parts, so like it sounds more pleasing to the human ear. So that's pretty much what I incorporate in my music.
May I ask this question? Is Mom your manager?
Mom always is.
She likes to say that. Mom.
She's busy. She got her own business
busy.
going on. She's busy.
Definitely, I'll shout her out real quick. If you need insurance,
There you go. You gotta give Mama a plug always.
she can definitely insure you for anything that you need. She'll take care of you.
Yeah, she's
Okay, that's right. Give Mom a call.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I love the way that you all have mentioned today building a legacy.
That's
And how important that is that Nipsey and the legacies. Describe a little more about that imprint that you really see yourselves leaving.
Right.
Sometimes I just daydream about this. I feel like we're gonna be like worldwide.
Yes.
But I just want to leave a legacy of like I want to be known like just globally like as iconic. I don't know if that's a bit like the best way to put it, but I just want to be like iconic.
Pretty much for me, just leaving this place better than I came.
Gotta
Yeah.
leave it better than you found it.
That's just for me,
But that, yeah. Go ahead.
Whoever life I can, impact and change, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
You guys, that's pretty heavy for some young brothers.
Yeah.
I'm
Mom's done a
inspired.
good
to
job.
Really
Yeah,
am.
Mom's done a good
Really
job
am.
with you guys.
Really am.
Y'all have other siblings?
We do. We have two other brothers and one sister.
Are they musically inclined?
I think the oldest one is,
Yeah.
I think he sings, but
My oldest brother does music. I think he raps as well. He writes.
yeah. But I'm the youngest out of all of them. So.
Oh, so you're the baby.
Mhm.
You're the
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Now, I'd like to know, taking it back to when you guys were in school, what advice would you give to those teachers out there or those educators who, always having to deal with that disruptive student? What would you have needed or what,
Yeah.
what could have happened for you, for someone to, just encourage instead of just saying he's being disruptive,
Yeah. I feel like
You want to talk about this?
It's go ahead, it's confession time. Get it off your chest,
for me in school, I was the one that was disruptive, getting sent to the principal office and having my mom come up there every day. This probably went on all my school years. Probably stopped junior year. Well, it actually didn't stop. But
Just alter how you did it.
yeah. But I feel like those kids are the ones that you really need to pay attention to the most. They can either go either direction. They can either grow a lot from it, or it can really just, turn their life downward. So I feel like as teachers, you really have an important job to, influence these kids to do better and use the talents that they have and gifts. You have to identify
Absolutely.
those gifts that they have and really just nourish it. And I feel like that's what I wish somebody would have did with me, because I was going through my whole life just thinking I'm just this kid that just get in trouble. It kind of altered my mentality. So I had to figure out on my own that what I was doing in school was just, I wasn't able to stay focused because I was always, being creative or thinking, or I was just bored with schoolwork.
Yeah. And school's not for everyone.
It wasn't.
It's crazy that
Well, that
he said.
setting is not for
Yeah,
everyone.
well, that's what I
A
mean.
structured setting is not for
Sitting
everyone.
down for hours,
I
that's just
know.
not what, that just wasn't me. I just couldn't
I
do
don't think
it.
it's any kids. I'm an ex-school teacher. I just don't like the way the system works. I think
Yeah,
I
same
agree
way,
with that.
same way. I broke all the molds,
Right.
and my resume proves that.
Mhm.
You have to navigate through a lot of different districts when you break molds,
Mhm.
but when you are qualified and you know what you're doing, then they cannot stop what you're doing.
Mhm.
And so that, that's really important, is that I'm impressed by that you know what you're doing
Right.
and no one can stop what you're going to do.
Mhm.
Iconic means that you have a mantle to carry, and so every time you walk on the street, every time you present yourself, people are going to look at you as a representative for more than yourself, more than your family. So I know your mother's already taught you, you better represent the family right.
Yeah.
Now when you become iconic, then you are representing more than just yourself, more than just black and brown people. So you're ready for that.
Yep.
And when y'all make it big, I teach image. I teach all the little things y'all gonna need to know when you start
Entourage.
when you start going to $1 million meetings and stuff like that.
You see this book?
Yeah, you have to know which fork.
Etiquette.
You have to know how to do all these things.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Work
We
the proper
learned a little bit of that. We used to
Yeah.
do Boy Scouts.
We believe in you, yeah. But Boy
Oh.
Scout, yeah, absolutely.
We was part of the Young Gents Club. I was president.
Absolutely. See,
Right.
you're okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Class character pride.
Okay,
I
said that bottom is out.
But let us, work with you. We would really
For sure.
enjoy
Yes,
doing that.
we
'Cause
can
believe in
polish.
you.
Mhm.
We polish the
get you right a little bit.
My mom tries to do that a lot.
I know.
She did a good
Mom's
job.
job is
Yeah.
Did
never
an
done.
excellent. It's never done.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Parents did an excellent job. We are proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
Happy to have you with us today.
Thank you guys for joining us. We
Thank you
appreciate
guys
Thank you
it.
so much for having us. We had a great time.
All right.
We play his music again. I mean, even when they're
On the-
gone,
on the
we
Yeah.
have to have. No,
I
mean,
believe
in
our-
general,
yeah.
we can-
Right. The management at this station did add you guys to the rotation, even though they are
Perfect. And the music
they
to
are
our-
classic jazz.
Mhm.
But every now and then you're going to hear some Best in the World or
Yeah.
some JDR MOB pop in there, which is going to may shock a few people, but we think
But we
They-
don't
but
have
they
to
believe
help
some
each
people
other
will
get
like it.
somewhere.
So you were added
In the
into the rotation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And
So-
shout out to my dad for making this happen. He definitely making this for sure.
Today's show was brought to you by Image. I make a great employee, executive entrepreneur, professional etiquette training seminars, where life skills meet social graces. For more information, please visit www.yourbizimage.com. That's www.yourbizimage.com for more information.
And we also have a link available for the book on Amazon.com. It is I Make a Great Employee, Entrepreneur, Executive, by our very own Manners Maven.
The manners
And
Maven.
Amazon.com. And make sure you get your copy. You can get it paperback, love a hard copy. And then for those of you who like the Kindle, the electric version, of course, you can get the ebook also. Thank you
That's
for
right.
everyone who's followed along on our Facebook feed, Twitter, and also follow along on our website for past episodes, www.allaboutyouShow.info. That's all about you, the letter U, INF, show.info.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Come back. You're welcome to
Yes.
come back.
Yes, you got to roll through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most definitely. Thank you guys.
You gotta move quickly. We do have a transitioning show.
You gotta get-
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.